let's simplify things so as our brains don't explode. We will just play on a standard table, standard temperature, standard gravity, like everything. The games that we've been played on. So there's some woods and there's some like canyon sections, maybe some city in there if you want, water. Let's put water in there because water's always fun.
Water's always good. It depends. I can't do it.
Okay, well let's do it. Let's do it together. We're going to design a lance based on that. So you'll pick 2 and I'll pick 2. I'll give you the first option. So hatchetman. Do we want to put a hatchetman in? Because I like it.
I would go with a hatchetman. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
let's put a hatchetman.
So what's that in points again?
Was it the 5S?
5S.
Hatchetman 5S, 1039 BV.
Excellent.
So slightly over 1,000. If you can find mechs that are roughly 1,000, then you can build your units like fairly easily. Given an amount thing. So
okay, well, that's pretty good. So hatchetman as number 1. I'm going to put forward to the quartermaster if we can have a bushwacker.
Can we please have a bushwacker?
I've always liked the bushwacker. I think for a 55-ton mech, it's quite good.
Yep.
Fairly decent armor. It's not max, but that's okay because they've given an XL engine and double heat sinks to sort of allow it to handle all of its heat issues. So we've got an AC-10. It's only got 1 ton of ammunition, but you can choose like some special stuff if you really want to. Because it's just a standard AC-10, you've got some ammo choices if you decide to go down that road, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
It has 2 LRM-5 launchers that are sharing a ton of ammunition, so that's 24 shots. It has an ER large laser, so it's the only energy weapon that it's got, but it's good long range. And a couple of machine guns. And I like the machine guns because they're good against standard infantry. You don't have to worry about heat. It's pretty good.
It's a solid unit.
Okay, so it is 10 tons heavier than the hatchetman. So I'm expecting it to be more because it's got a bit of fancy tech in there, the XL engine and whatever. But so it just says bushwacker. There are different versions of the bushwacker. Bushwacker, all one word. Oh, it's the X1. Sorry, my mistake. BSW X1.
Damn it.
How'd you go?
Oh, they spelt it without the
Bush.
H. Okay.
Bushwacker.
W-A-K. Not W-H. It's American whack. So what is it? X1?
The X1.
Yeah, so that's 1,223.
There you go. That's all right. There is another version of that one which swaps out the LRM-5s, and I think it makes them SRM-4s, and I think it swaps some of the weapons as well.
That's possible, yeah. Let's have a look in Sana here.
Because there's one that had like something ridiculous, like an LB-20X or something on it. It's the autocannon. They gave it a huge upgrade.
Dear.
It was pretty good. But I like this standard one. You can do indirect fire. You've got long range. Your autocannon has some ammunition options. Fast.
Okay, so the S2 is a variant. ER large laser. LB-10X.
LB-10X. Okay.
Yeah.
It's probably got a couple of tons of ammo then it would.
2 SRM-4s.
Okay.
And an anti-missile system.
Oh.
Which is pretty nice.
That's quite nice. How much is that one? Has it got the BV on there?
1293. So 70 points more.
70 points more.
Mm. That's not bad.
Anti-missile system is nice.
Yeah.
But I think I'll stick with the standard because having some indirect fire is pretty good. And you've got lots of range. There's like 4 weapons there with a decent range on them.
Yeah.
And I like that. So what have we got? We spent what?
We've got 2,000, just over 2,200. And we've got a hatchetman and a bushwacker.
Ooh.
So again, the bushwacker doesn't have hands.
No.
I'm pretty sure.
It's got one.
He's got one.
It's got one hand.
One hand? Okay.
Stumpy. Or a snake.
I thought they had both hands taken out.
No.
No? Okay.
No.
I don't know. I'd probably take something with a bit more LRM punch, but I wouldn't want to take too high a level mech, depending on the BV. If you've got 10,000 BV, then you're rolling in it. If you've got 9,000
we're working on
BV,
a 5,000.
if we're working on 5,000, I'd probably take an archer.
Would you take? Okay.
Because I think the archer can still keep up with the hatchet man and the bushwacker. I'm pretty sure.
No, it's a 4.6, so the bushwhacker's a bit faster, but that's okay. It's not a.
But I mean, the hatchet man is a 4.64.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, it's not getting completely left behind. Is the point? I mean, you take a stalker and it's getting left behind. Really.
Okay. Back to archer.
It all depends on the sort of thing that you want to do. But he can put out a lot of damage without being exposed to damage himself, or you can stand him up on a hill and do lots of long range stuff. So I mean, you could take something like a blackjack or what's the other one with all the auto cannons? A rifleman. You could take a blackjack or a rifleman and stand on a hill and just ping things from 6 miles away. You take a warhammer. Warhammer's a solid mech. I don't think we've ever mentioned a warhammer, but they're gold. They're brilliant.
It's a long-standing design. It's been around forever. So this is the warhammer. Now, there's quite a few versions of this one, but it's most commonly known for having like big guns for arms and a missile launcher on the side, and then some backup weapons and things like that. So this one here. So they haven't really done a lot for the. So they haven't XL'd.
Okay.
They haven't ferrofibrous. They haven't endo-steeled with it at all. All they've done is played around with the heat sinks and the weapons. So it's got 18 double heat sinks.
Yeah. I think that was one of the things with the original, was if you fired everything or you didn't control your fire enough, it had a tendency to overheat.
It had, yeah. So 2 ERP PCs, so that's 30 heat for those two together. Then you've got the SRM6 machine gun with a full ton of ammo, poor infantry.
Yeah.
And a couple of medium lasers and an anti-missile system, which I actually like on that. But this particular version doesn't have a lot of armor for something that's 70 tons, unfortunately.
Yeah. But you could take an older version of it or a different
You could,
version.
yes, you could, yeah. So sacrifice your range, but you'd have a lot more sort of staying capability.
So what version is that one?
That one is, where is it written here? The 7M.
7M is 1,400. 1,487. But all-rounder mechs like that are ones that are really good. So something like a Wolverine would probably focus
Definitely
at this point. But the Warhammer is an all-rounder, like heavy.
Yeah, it's
right?
4.6.
And your Wolverine is all-rounder, but sort of lower down. Orion.
Look, this one here, this is General Kerensky's ride of choice.
Is it really?
Yeah,
oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's quite popular for that reason. But if you just have a look, 4.6. So we're talking 75 tons. So that's still pretty good. It does have an XL engine. They've added case, which is nice. LB10X with a couple of rounds, so you can do solid and cluster. LRM20 with a couple of tons. So you've got 20 shots of the LB10X, 12 shots of the LRM20. You've got an SRM4 with 2 tons. An arc missile beacon and a couple of medium lasers for 11 double heat sinks.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. And the armor's pretty much max, which is,
good.
I think if you're going to pick a heavy hitter, that's going to be...
You want them to have solid armor.
Yeah, I think that's going to be...
The original Warhammer was 1,299 BV.
Yep.
It's 2 PPCs, 1 SRM6, 2 medium lasers, 2 small lasers, 2 machine guns.
Oh, yeah.
18 single heat sinks. So you can fire both of your PPCs and run, right, without overheating.
18 single heat sinks.
18 single heat sinks.
So PPC is 10 heat. So no.
Oh, no.
Fire one and everything else.
The wrong way around.
Yeah, one and everything else you could.
You can fire one and the rest, right? But yeah, 18, you can stand on a hill and fire those 2 PPCs a couple of times and not overheat, right? But you have to be a bit careful with the weaponry that you're using and when in order to do that. So I'm not surprised they went for a few double heat sinks.
Yeah, that's the way to go. So that's actually quite a nice design. I quite like that, the Orion. But
It's
I don't
not a
know.
bad one.
But Warhammer or the Archer.
Well, I mean, the Warhammer would be a good choice for getting in and doing stuff. So you've got a lot more direct fire capability. You've got a lot more range variance there, and you've got a lot of like a bit more versatility than the Archer. The Archer I would take because I like missiles.
Yeah.
But if I was trying to make an all-rounder and I didn't know what was going on, then the Warhammer would probably be closer to a solid choice.
Okay.
And for, like, you take the original for 1,200, that's not too far over.
Well, we could do that. Take that one.
So we've got a 6R Warhammer for 1,299 there.
Excellent. Okay. So that leaves us with
One more.
Probably something in the lighter category.
A scouty type thing, but I mean,
Something with
bearing in
hands.
mind we don't really have much in the way of stuff to do indirect fire or directed fire or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
We're all operating reasonably independently here, right? We haven't gone for any major synergies or anything like that, right? So you've got an all-rounder lance that we're trying to build, which means you haven't got someone with an arc beacon and somebody else with missiles, and you haven't got somebody with a tag and somebody else with arrow 4 sort of thing, right? So taking a scout mech is only useful if you have something you need to get to quickly, right?
Yeah, that's true. All right, so how many BV have we got left, just so as I have a bit of an idea?
But taking a light mech wouldn't be a bad move. Something like a Spider or a Venom.
Wolfhound's pretty good.
Wolfhound is a good one. Yep. Wolfhound is a really good one.
Hello,
Hello,
doggo.
buddy. 2, 2, 3, plus 1, 2, 9, 9. We're up to 3,561
Oh,
minus 5,000. So we've got 1,400 left.
well, we might even be able to get some assault mechs if we
Right.
really want to go nuts.
So you could take this either way. You could take a lighter mech so that you've got something fast and maneuverable, something like a fire starter or a
the Phoenix Hawk's pretty good.
the Phoenix Hawk is pretty good.
Not the Blackjack.
Not the Blackjack. Where'd the
Nobody
Phoenix
likes
Hawk go? There it is. You could take a Phoenix Hawk. So something lighter, a bit more maneuverable, or at least a bit faster than some of these guys, with some reasonable punch of its own. Or you could take another one around 1,000 points, and then you could adjust their piloting and gunnery skills, right? You use any extra points that you've got left over. So you probably end up with about, if you take something light for maybe 800 or 900 points, then you've got nearly 1,000 points that you can muck around with their skills with,
Yeah.
right? Or you take something like an Awesome, an Archer, an Atlas, a Warhammer, a Thunderbolt, something like that, something big that will use up that 1,400 points,
Yeah, true.
right? So
Something with a bit of speed.
what do you got?
Well, I'm looking at the
Clint.
Yeah, the Clint. Now, the reason I like this one is because it's all energy weapons. It's fast. It's got jump. It doesn't have an XL engine. It's got an ERPPC and a couple of medium pulse lasers. So it will overheat if it does everything, but an ERPPC, something that moves 696 that can shoot up to 22
What is it? ER medium? ER large?
PPC.
PPC?
ERPPC. I think it was like
PPC.
20,
What version is that?
23. Huh? The 3U, 2-3U.
2-3U is 1,081.
There you go. It's
So-
very low on armor though. That's the only problem. But that's what I was saying. You use it as a harasser, direct
it's,
fire, long range, high damage.
696 is not bad. SU. 2-3U, you said. Okay. ERPPC, yeah. Players, double heat sinks, etc., etc. Whoops. ERPPC. Yeah, so 10 damage out to 23.
Yeah. Just maneuver at the back, protect the rear arcs of your fire support units as they move forward.
Yeah. And it doesn't have a minimum range, so the fact that you're moving that fast and getting in behind people and close to other people is not going to hamper that main damage weapon, which is good.
And the medium pulse lasers are good because if you do need to run to get somewhere, to close in with someone, chances are...
Or jump.
Yeah, or jump. Yeah, chances are your shots are going to count, so...
Or they'll be a lot easier to hit with. And for only that 1,081, I think that's... Yeah, 1,081. So...
Yeah,
it gives
so
you
you
about... It gives you 300 and something points to muck around with for the...
I mean, it's not really a lot.
It's
You
not
probably
really
you
a
probably
lot.
get like better pilots.
Yeah.
And that's
you
about
probably
it.
get
Not gunnery.
one of them to have a slightly better piloting skill. I'd say the hatchet man with a slightly better piloting skill would probably be a good move.
Would be good, yeah, definitely. I don't know.
Or
I mean,
warhammer
yeah.
with a slightly better gun.
So the clans have trouble filling anything for $5,000, so that should give you an idea of what you can do. But I don't know, for 5,000 using a little bit of like Starly technology, not a lot. There are models that are fairly common. You know, the plastics have been released for them. You can get them from Ironwind Metals as well, different types.
So 1,081 to... Well, you could get a 3-4 for 1,426 in the Clint.
Okay.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah.
A 3-4 with that sort of stuff, that gives you better piloting skill in case you get knocked, because you're going to be getting closer to things, and it gives you better gunnery skill with those weapons.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Still pretty good. But I think a good piloting for the hatchetman would be helpful.
It'd probably be cool. But, I'm just wondering what that would look like. So the hatchetman we had was the 5S. So 1,039, we've got about 400 points to muck around with. So I can get a 3-3 for 1,496. And get a 3-4 for 1,371. Ooh, you can get a 4-2 for 1,300. So you can have an average gunnery, so 4 gunnery, but a 2 piloting skill for bringing that hatchet right in there.
Yeah, that could be good.
That could work. So 4-2 is 1,309. But again, I want to stress the fact that it's just... It depends. There isn't really any like solid way to say this is exactly how you have to do this. This is the only way you're going to get a good squad, a good force. Yeah. 4,912.
Okay. But that gives you an idea. We've picked 4 mechs that can operate independently with some of their weaponry and things like that. But if they work together as a team, especially with all the LRM capability, that's quite good.
Yeah.
You've got some speed. You've got 2 units with jump.
You got
and there's
solid
pulse
direct
weapons
fire
mixed in there as well. Yeah, that's right. You've got some range. You've got everything there. It's pretty good.
You got a couple there that can get in close and deal some serious damage, but you haven't got anything that's like super big.
No.
So you've not got any like a stalker with it's only like 3-5 or 3 move. You haven't got anything super well armored, although a couple of them do have maximum armor for their type. They're still not going to be like assault level sort of armor. So,
no,
but I think that would be a quality lance.
Once you see what your opponent has, you see if you want to sort of spread out or you want to clump up. You know, it all depends what they've got. If they've got like a lot of really fast moving units, like your rear stuff's going to really come under pressure quickly. You've got to be careful of that. But
that's the other thing that you have to take into account when you're playing the game is who you're playing against. If somebody that you're playing against, you're moving the table, bozo. Hey. If somebody you're playing against and you know they take a lot of vehicles, take something that gives you a lot of hit locations, right? Because that is how you kill a vehicle. You get lots of hit locations.
Yeah, that's true, yeah.
Hello, Bojo.
You coming to check it out, are you, buddy? Hello.
If you've got somebody who takes a lot of assault mechs, you can take... Like, you can get a couple of medium mechs for the same price as a single assault mech, and you can run them around. You can run rings around an assault mech with a medium.
Yeah, true.
And as long as you can stay clear of the main weapon damage, you can get some rear shots in and bring it down quick. If you know they take a lot of big, heavily armoured weapon units, you can take some precision ammo. No,
Yeah.
armor piercing ammo.
Armor piercing. Well, precision's good
for
too.
light,
Yeah.
fast units. If they take a lot of light, fast units, take precision ammo for your autocannons. If they take a lot of heavy units with lots of armor, take things like tandem charge, armor piercing. What's the other one that gives you a through shot?
Wasn't it acid warheads or something? Didn't they have something?
Oh, they go against ferrofibers.
Oh, ferrofibers, yeah. But that's all right. But if you're just playing standard stuff, though,
yeah,
you know,
but that's
you've
it.
still got plenty of choice.
If you know the person that you're playing against does certain things all the time, then you can kind of build your lance around that as well. There's lots of different ways to do it.
But we pick those based on those characteristics. Talk about a bit. If you think that sounds good and you want to sort of build your next force following those, that could be good. See how you go. Let us know how your battle goes against your opponent, what
I don't
they
know
took.
if there was really any solid advice in there or not, but hopefully it helped.
But we've avoided taking like onboard artillery units. Which you know, I mean, we've done a few videos on artillery and things like that. But I think for a 4 lance unit, it's probably not worth doing.
Caddy Ray Hart. There's a couple of comments. Hi, if you're still watching. But they said that they regularly do battles in like the 30 or 40,000 PV.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's insane. You can do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it. So if you have any other questions or whatever, pop them in the comment section there. Don't forget to subscribe. And Alpha Strike's usually got some sales and promotions going on, so go check us out at alphastrike.com.au. You might find something there for yourself. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you in the next video.
Bye, guys.